Hello students of 9th standard, we have started the lesson that is from section B, lesson number 7, that is nothing but energy flow in an ecosystem. Before going to this lecture, I have told you about the ecosystem. There are various ecosystems on our earth. Which are they? You know children, they are nothing but land, water, soil, forest, animal, then again plants, various types of ecosystems are there. Now in this ecosystem there are various types of food chains. So whenever you are seeing the food chain, so what you see that one animal is dependent on the another animal. This you see there. So how is that? See here, if you take an example of one food chain, I am going to tell you one food chain that is nothing but here on the plants, the grasshopper are dependent. On grasshopper, the frogs are dependent. On frog, the snakes are dependent. On snakes, the eagle or kite are dependent. Then again, eagle or kite is the apex consumer. So here, no one is going to kill this. They are decomposed by the decomposers. This we have seen. In that we have also seen what is the food web. That means here there is an interconnection in the food chain. Many of the animals are not only dependent on one thing, but they are dependent on various things. So this is nothing but the food web. We have also seen the trophic levels. In the trophic levels we have seen that plants are nothing but the producer. On these producers the herbivorous animals depend. That means they eat the herbs. Therefore they are called as the herbivorous. So on herbivorous, the carnivorous animals are dependent. That means they are nothing but the flesh eaters. On carnivorous, the omnivorous animals are dependent. This we have seen various types of a first, second, third trophic level. Then we have also seen the energy level in an, you can say, aquatic ecosystem, where we have seen the phytoplanktons, the zooplanktons, the fishes and the humans, how their energy changes from 10,000 to 10 kilocalories that we have seen. Now next we are going to see that in the ecosystem there are various types of cycles. They are nothing but the biogeochemical cycles, carbon cycle, oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle, various types of cycles are there. From that one cycle that we have studied, that is nothing but the biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycle is a cycle in which the biotic plants depend on abiotic plants and abiotic depends on the biotic factors that we have seen. Biogeochemical cycle itself is nothing but a biological, geological and chemical. Together they are formed in one cycle, and that cycle is called as a biogeochemical cycle. In biogeochemical cycle there are again two types of a cycle. One is nothing but a gaseous cycle and other is nothing but a sedimentary cycle. This I have told you yesterday. Now what is gaseous cycle? You have to see. See here first, an accumulation. There is an accumulation of what? See, of main abiotic gaseous nutrients. There is an accumulation of an main abiotic gaseous nutrients. That means there is accumulation of the abiotic gaseous nutrients, materials is found in the Earth's atmosphere. Where we get this? We get this into the Earth's atmosphere. Now see here, what does it include? It includes nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, water vapor. Then see, this is the gaseous cycle. Next comes the sedimentary cycle. So sedimentary cycle is also one of the part of the biogeochemical cycle. What does it tell us? See here, an accumulation of the main abiotic nutrient material is found in soil. Soil sediments, that means see what is the here the accumulation of the biotic nutrient nutrient is found. But where it is found? It is found into the soil. Here where it was found in the atmosphere. But here it is found into the soil and sedimentary rocks of the earth. That is nothing but it is found into the sediments of the rocks of the earth. Includes the soil components. So which are the components? The components are nothing but iron, calcium, phosphorus. The gaseous cycle, whenever you see, is more speedier than the sedimentary cycle. See, the gaseous cycle is more speedier than the sedimentary cycle. Here we see the gaseous cycle into the atmosphere and the sedimentary cycle into the soil. Even though whenever these two cycles are formed, the gaseous cycle will be more speedier than to the sedimentary cycle. Why this is? Because it requires more time to get accumulation into the soils. In atmosphere it is very easy for the accumulation. Then see, for example, carbon dioxide has accumulated in an area. It is quickly dispersed with wind or absorbed plants. That means carbon dioxide, whenever it is the accumulation of carbon dioxide, it is quickly accumulated into the, you can say, atmosphere, and it is also absorbed by the plants. Climatic changes and human activities seriously affect the speed. So what do? These climatic changes and human activities, they are seriously affecting the speed, the intensity and equilibrium of these cycles. That means these cycles are affected by some of the factors, and that factors are nothing but speed, intensity and equilibrium. Hence various aspects of these cycles are studied nowadays. The next cycle is carbon cycle. The carbon cycle is also one of the, you can say, biogeochemical cycle. So what does this cycle tell us? In this cycle, the carbon dioxide is more important. So what does this cycle tell us? We are going to see the circulation and recycling of carbon. That is, carbon, or you can say carbon is present in the form of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So what it is told here? The circulation and recycling of the carbon from the atmosphere to living organisms. Now here which are the living organisms? Those who show the life processes, they are called as the living organisms. And after their death, back to the atmosphere is called the carbon cycle. So what does this carbon cycle actually tells us? That there is a, you can say, recirculation or recycling or recirculation of carbon which is present in the atmosphere to living organisms, and from living organisms after their death back to the atmosphere. Back to the atmosphere is called as a carbon cycle. Now here abiotic. Abiotic means what? The abiotic factors like land, sand, water, all these things. Then abiotic carbons which are present in these types of the abiotic factor. Such types of abiotic carbon atoms are circulated. So what they are done? They are circulated and recycled into the biotic form. That means here abiotic carbon is converted into, you can say, biotic form. How it is converted? It is first circulated and then recycled, and after that it is converted into biotic form, mainly through the photosynthesis. So what does this sentence tells us? See here, carbon dioxide which is present in the atmosphere, it is consumed by the plants to prepare their food, and these plants are nothing but the producers, and they are the food of the living organisms. Most of the living organisms, they eat these plants. That means indirectly the carbon dioxide, or you can say the form of the carbon, goes into the body of a, you can say, living organism. Therefore, it is told from abiotic factor to the biotic factor. This way it is told. Now, photosynthesis and respiration. What we know here, carbon dioxide is taken by the plants and it gives us oxygen. The oxygen or the carbon dioxide which is mixed into the air, that is inhaled by us, and we take the oxygen and carbon dioxide in some extent, and all the carbon dioxide is given out of the body. Hence the carbon cycle is very important. Why it is important? Because here abiotic factors are connected to the biotic factors, or you can say they are again recycled, or you can say continuously there is a recycling of this carbon dioxide. Therefore, it is one of the, you can say, important cycle. Plants converts CO2 into the carbohydrates. So, what is done here? See, plants take the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water from the soil, and in presence of sunlight and chlorophyll they do the photosynthesis. So whenever they do the photosynthesis, that means there is a change here, change of the factors, that is nothing but carbon dioxide and water. It is changed, or it is converted into, you can say, the carbohydrates, that is nothing but a glucose, by the process of the photosynthesis. Similarly, they produce the carbon compounds. They also produce the carbon compounds like proteins, or you can say fats. That means with carbohydrates, and with that also they are going to produce the proteins and also the fats. Now what happens here actually? Whenever the plants are considered as the producers, the herbivorous animals depend upon the plants, and these herbivorous animals are eaten by the carnivorous animals. That means the carnivorous feed on the herbivorous. In this way, biotic carbon is transported from plants from herbivorous to the carnivorous. How it is transferred? From herbivorous to the carnivorous, and carnivorous to the apex consumer.